What's up, everyone? Steven Sickles coming at you with Rev'd Up GarageCast. Here today is with my main man, Mark Metz, Eddie Springer. Episode 1 coming at you. We're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to talk about ourselves first and introduce who we are and why we are interested in this, or why you might be interested in listening to us. We're going to talk about the idea of a unified set of rules and one official that's trying to get a bunch of people on board with that. And then after that, we're going to talk about a small business that we all know very well and going to try and push them a little bit.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one.
So that being said, my name's Steven Sickles. A lot of you know me from the Derby world. I've ran a lot over the past few years. Run 911. I run anything from small cars to big cars, minivans, in between. You want to introduce yourself over here?
I'm Mark Metz. Numbers 9X, you probably know me. Call me Conehead. I usually run compacts. I'll run some vans. I ran my first bone stock, full size this year. That was pretty cool. But
What'd you think of that from only running compacts to hopping in a big car?
man, what a difference. That is a huge difference. But, it was fun. I loved it. It was
Now,
good.
I always talk about when I run the small cars and the minivans, they hit harder in my opinion. What's your take on that real quick?
I agree. In the car, a compact, getting hit like in compacts compared to full size, it hurts a lot more. I don't know if that was because I was in a bone stock. I'm sure if you're in like a pro mod full size, it probably doesn't feel too good.
All right, that's enough from you, Mark. What about this guy over here to my right and your left?
I'm Eddie Springer. Been running around these derbies for quite a while now.
You actually worked for a Derby company for a little while, so some of them might remember you from that. Who'd you work for?
I ran around with Hardcore for 2 years, and then I was pretty terrible with that, so I got out of it.
Worst official ever.
Worst.
Probably the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it for me.
How many derbies do you think you've ran in?
Honestly, I can't remember. I don't.
Okay. Well, we had some technical difficulties in our first take. We recorded for 47 minutes and had 10 minutes of audio. So we're going to try and do this correct this time. But one thing we talked about was some goals personally. And, Eddie, you talked to me about something that you wanted to try and achieve this year. And it's something you came so close to last year. And actually, I consider that you already have accomplished it. But you want to do it on your own. What's that?
Yeah, I need a win. I spent a lot of my derby career just building cars to junk them. I didn't care what it was. I was just going to smash it, 2-3 hits, and call it a day. And that's what I've done. And then last year I decided to put in a run, and I had a buddy of mine help me in a team show, and we pulled off a win. So I'll give a shout out to Darryl Miles for that. And but I need to do it on my own this time. So see what I can do next year.
You got a lot of Mad Dogs there, right?
Yeah, you have a couple.
I got about 4 or 5 of them, I think.
Eddie hasn't ran as much as some of us, but last year was definitely, from watching him in the past. He got down to second a few times in the past, but it was more of a wow, the car's still running.
Yeah.
This year it was more of wow, Eddie's actually wheeling that thing. And you could just see that he changed inside the cockpit. He was thinking about what he was doing as he was doing it a little bit more, and he progressed. I'm actually surprised he didn't pick up the win because there was a few shows this year that right there.
Yeah.
So next year.
Brandon Kenny, I got one coming for you, bud. I gave you that one.
So next year, one of our goals here at Sickles Racing or Rev'd Up GarageCast, we're going to get Eddie the win.
We'll try.
You ran hardcore final confrontation. You got down to 6, and you were in there for over an hour.
That field was very
Stacked
very
field.
good drivers.
Stacked field.
Not only good drivers, there was very few cars that were not built competitively.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all good. The tranny. Dang trannies. Lost a lot of them that night.
So we went over what Eddie's goals are for 2023. Mark, what's your plans on 2023?
I think I'm gonna run more team shows this year. I'd like to run more team shows.
The second team show we could have ran for, we just found out that Frankie just released the date.
Yeah.
We already have a trip booked for going to ride razors down Hatfield McCoy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's that.
We were wanting to run that, but it's hard to run every show. I mean,
Other than team shows, what's your plan? You plan on trying to make a championship run somewhere, or just go with the flow and see what happens?
Gone fishing.
I like fishing.
You definitely will end up fishing.
Definitely gonna fish, but yeah, I'd like to pick up another championship win.
There will be an important derby somewhere that he really wants to run, but he'll just be fishing.
Yeah, man, there's something about it. Something about fishing.
You enjoy missing Buried Alive.
Man, I wish I went to that show. I had a good time, though. I had a fun time.
Was a good derby.
It was a good derby. I liked watching it after the
Got to watch me pick up a couple wins and junk some stuff. Yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah.
You don't get to see me drive like that too much.
Nope.
Yeah.
So we went over Eddie's goals, Mark's goals for 2023. 2023, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to focus a little bit less on trying to win and more on traveling and the experience. We're going to start off in South Carolina, the Most Wanted Fine Arts class. Taking a van that literally takes about 8 hours to build. So if you see a Most Wanted Fine Arts class pop up somewhere, definitely look into it. They're super quick builds, super fun. Takes a lot of the headache out of the build and the sport, and you still get to get back to the roots of why it's fun to derby.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you watch that class, and it kind of reminds you, like, 20 years ago what derby was. I mean,
we're possibly trying to go to Alaska this year, too, so that's one thing that's on the radar. It's not set in stone.
Count me out for that. That's cold, bud. That's pretty cold down there.
It's not cold year-round in Alaska, bud.
I don't know if I can fly that far.
You never flew. You're scared to fly.
I know.
Sure, the flight can't be that bad.
I don't know if I can fly.
You don't know if you can fly at all, then.
I don't know. Haven't tried.
I'd say some choice words, but anyway.
I was going to say the same thing.
BP. Anyways, so then another thing that I'm looking forward to, as Mark touched on more team shows, we're most likely going to hop back into the pool play for Dead Man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I like Dead Man a lot.
that's one objective. We like the build here at Sickles Racing. It gives you enough to keep a strong car and keep moving. We like Hardcore's build too. It's right there. It's close to Dead Man.
It's not far off. I like Hardcore's build too. You could build a competitive car, a hard car with that.
But since we're talking about rules, I'm going to carry that right into our next subject. Unified rules, and what does that include? What does that mean? So one official is taking charge, and he's trying to get a bunch of different promoters on board. He is working with Ultimate Derby, Iron City Promotions, Toast, and Derby Icons. So he's going to be running, I believe, a ship of at least 10, maybe more shows. This year, he wasn't able to change all their rules. I believe that Iron City and Toast is running these rules, and then he's going to try and adapt it to 2024 and try and get all of them on board, plus if other people are interested. I actually talked to him today. He's talking about possibly opening up a Facebook page where people could comment and discuss these rules and see what they like and don't like. So look for that in the future, possibly. So that official is Nick King, and we commonly have seen him work for Toast and Iron City. He runs some shows. I believe he used to run big cars, but he's moved into small cars and a lot of the MWFA style quick builds.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Nick King for this because,
I mean, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy, but that doesn't stop you from trying. So,
no, everybody, I mean, the sport needs a unified set of rules. It does.
We've all three read over these rules, and I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but we all had different sections highlighted and stuff that we were going to talk about. And then we decided that for the most part, we like the rules. He lets you have a good bit in the front. Well, a little bit in the front. He lets you have any bumper, so that's nice at this point in the game. That way, if you don't want to spend money, you don't have to. If you want to spend money, sky's the limit.
Especially at the price of bumpers nowadays.
Yeah, I mean,
they're getting a little crazy.
And you can go from a $60 piece of tubing all the way to an $800 pointy. So,
yeah.
I mean, leaves it open. He just has a limitation on the point, of course.
Yeah.
So it gives you some up front. It gives you some plate. Gives you body mounts if you want to do them. Gives you all the bolt-ons, the shifter, the pedals if you want. He gives you a decent cage. There's a little work I feel that could be done in the gas tank protector area.
Yeah.
We all discussed this, and this is one of more of Eddie's subjects.
It needs to be the height.
Instead of the gas tank protector, he's limiting the height of the protector that you can build up around it based off of the gas tank that's physically in it. And we just feel that leaves people, one, they're going to take and just raise their gas tank higher. So why not just from the start, your gas tank protector cannot precede the top of your speaker deck. Boom.
It's a good height.
There's a lot of different.
Especially considering you're not allowed to do anything to the back end, so your speaker deck height can't change.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different height to fuel cells compared to like Jeffy's fuel cell is only probably 10 inches high.
I believe he actually changed companies, but the ones he used was only the height of a Camry fuel pump.
Yeah.
So they're a lot shorter.
Compared to like an M&M Boys.
M&M Boys that uses a W-body fuel pump is going to be significantly taller. If you're running an older jerry can, that's going to be taller. If you're running a carbureted fuel cell that you're just running inline pump, most of them are taller than. And I mean, that's just something that's, to me, unnecessary.
Yeah.
So moving from that wasn't super important, but just felt that it doesn't make much sense to us. The other thing we want to talk about is you're allowed body mounts 6 inches of plate all the way around, weld to 6 inches seams, weld the sub seam, any bumper. You are allowed to do virtually nothing to the back of the car. He is letting you add a body mount in the back, but the trunk has to be open for inspection. You're only allowed 6 spots, I believe, to hold it down with chain or 9-wire. Not allowed to crease. You are allowed to tuck, but you're not allowed to dish it. You're not allowed a rear window bar. You're not allowed to do anything with your rear suspension. So the front half of the car to me, and you're not allowed to do much with the front suspension, twist in spring spacer, so it's not like I'm acting like you're allowed belt strut. But to me, you're starting with cars that the front half can take the abuse, but the back half can't. And I discussed with him earlier actually as well, he's not necessarily the unification of these rules. He's doing so you're doing the same build over and over again. That way there's no confusion and it clears things up. To me, a lot of the unification of the rules, I want to see it to where you can take a car from event to event. And I'm not saying last 5 runs, but I'm saying if you get your wheel ripped off, you can take this Iron City car to Toast's next show.
Yeah.
And when this spreads, and you have county fair level shows, which Toast already has, and I'll use Hardcore as an example because they're close to home and they do 10 shows a year. Say Hardcore picks up on these rules. I want to be able to, if I run a car for 10 minutes and it's not junk, be able to take it to the next Hardcore show or Iron City up at New Alex. Or that's the point of unified rules to me, to help the drivers. But I think he's also getting into doing it to help the inspection crew.
Yeah, I mean, so we pretty much all agreed you need more in the back end.
Yeah, just a little. I mean, and not crazy. Like, when I started talking to him about this, he's like, yeah, but then you got guys wanting 16 inches of plate, cradles, kickers. Like
some simple creasing would be
rear
nice.
window bar.
Just enough to give some structural integrity back there.
Yeah.
These compact cars, now, especially when you get into a car around here that has some rust.
Yeah, they're soft.
Yeah.
They're so soft in the back that it's just one good shot from the front of these cars is going to ruin it, which makes a great show for the fans.
Yeah.
But we need drivers to continue showing up to give that show to the fans.
That's what a unified rule set feels to me is like. I mean, like I said, they're a little soft. So, I mean, it'd be nice to take a car from Hardcore to Iron City and not have to rebuild a car. So if you make them, if they're too soft, you're back in the same boat where you wouldn't even need a unified set of rules because you're going to build a new car anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one more thing we'll touch on real quick on these rules since we got time here, nothing but time.
About the Rads.
Well, we can talk about the Rads real quick, but I really wanted to talk about trunks being open for inspection.
Yeah, I don't like that.
As a Derby driver that travels a lot, and these bases of shows that he's doing aren't close together necessarily. You don't want to drive 8 hours, show up a couple hours before the Derby to get to run, get out of your car, and have to work on your car for no reason. So I understand if there's modifications that need made to be fair to the competition level, but to have to go there and bust out the 9-wire,
That sucks.
why?
I mean, especially if you're bringing, it's a unified rule set, so if you're bringing a pre-ran.
Well, I mean, there's got to be some leniency in
Yeah.
pre-runs. I mean, obviously at certain points you can't open
Yeah.
things.
I mean, even a littlest bend in the back, you're not getting it back open.
Yeah, or if you get it back open, then you're SOL on getting it back to where it
yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
So that I mean, if you want the hole bigger so you can see it and make sure that nothing's there, and if someone doesn't put a hole in it, mark your own hole.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, 12-inch
Make
hole.
them down to it.
12-inch hole in a trunk lid.
yeah, you can
Be done
see
with it.
you can see through the back of most of these compacts
Yeah.
anyways from the front side even. But
Yeah.
I just don't want to work on the cars any more than you have to when you get to the show. You done build it for 2-3 weeks in the garage and then you bust your butt to get there. And
You build cars?
sometimes
Okay. Just kidding.
I want to hear it from you. We had to drag you out of bed just to show up today.
Well, I might have slept an hour. It's all right. I made it.
What time was your alarm set for?
3 o'clock.
We had to beg him to
4:59.
to work on that hardcore championship car, that final confrontation car too. He
Huh?
did so good. And then we didn't see Eddie for like.
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
Well,
Eddie
you want to know
was
why I
ahead
did
of
really
us.
good? Because I had the garage for a solid 4 or 5 days to myself, and so I was able to just get shit done. I was even helping you. You had metal to come back to just start welding
Yeah,
on.
I ain't
Yeah,
saying
so-
you didn't help me. I'm just saying your car.
What happened was
There was a
everybody
couple
came
times
back.
this year that Eddie helped Mark a lot.
Yeah,
So.
hey, Eddie helped me a lot. I just saying there was a couple times there was a week span Eddie's car was on the lift and he just wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, life happens.
I agree.
But
Okay, so moving on.
That's the last thing I want to touch.
Oh, you want to talk about Rads?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about it.
Okay. So, and it doesn't say in the rules either way. So I had went ahead and messaged Nick and asked him if we were going to be allowed aftermarket Rads in these cars. And if you're not familiar with the compacts, a lot of us were running aluminum Honda Civic Rads, Prelude Rads, the W bodies. We can run GMs and just different, all aluminum instead of having to deal with the plastic ends that can break with blowing on them too hard.
Yeah. And he's gonna allow you aluminum rads, aftermarket rads, but you're not allowed spray foam to hold them in, which a lot of time the rad doesn't fit right, and the spray foam does help a lot.
Helps fill the gap.
Yeah, and
Now, I discussed that with him, and the reason being he doesn't want stuff hidden with the spray foam.
yeah,
So there are some other options to holding the radiators in that you can use to not hide stuff, because we don't
Yeah.
always use spray foam.
no.
What else do we do?
Well, also in the rules, he doesn't allow you to weld anything to the core support, which if you could weld some brackets off the core support to bolt it in and hold it in, which would be fine, but I mean, I would be fine with one or the other.
you just want to cheat.
And them brackets don't got to be heavy, just basic
No.
1/8-inch brackets. You can put a measurement on them, and if people abuse it, lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like that, didn't you?
I mean, that's pretty much all I had.
Anyways, and I'll touch one more time on the aftermarket Rads. That is a stock build, and some people might be like, well, why do you need aftermarket Rads? I ran a team show out in Ohio this year, Heat and Feature. I pulled 3 different Rads, and by the time I went to put them in for the feature, I ended up having to use a brand new Rad that I paid $160 for.
Yeah.
These aftermarket Rads, A, yes, they take a little bit more of the abuse, but B, they're cost efficient. They're actually cheaper than having to go find or buy an OEM Rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like little Terry Body. I mean, he had to at Bash. He spent $250 on a rad.
Stock
Bash
Rad?
Radiator debacle of 2022.
I went
Tell
through
us how you really feel, Mark
I went
Metz.
through tech 4 times for a rad that I was allowed at the end of the day. And then, like I said, Terry went and had to buy a rad too, and at the end of the day, he was allowed.
I think the officials just like seeing you that much at that show.
Yeah, probably.
I think John Shippey likes seeing me.
Yeah.
I think he likes seeing me.
Everyone likes that forehead.
Yeah. John's a good guy. I like John.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're going to move on past these rules. We're going to talk about something that I wanted to bring into this show, and that's a small business section. And we might not get it into every show, but show one, we want to start off right. So we're going to talk about a small business that we work with hand in hand for a lot of our products. And that is Robbie Crittenden at Simple Solutions. He builds a lot of parts for the 4.6 Crown Victorias, more of a stock style build. He makes the build significantly more simple, quicker, easier, and efficient.
Definitely.
Like you said in the beginning of the episode, you got to run your first bone stock full size. That was a 4.6 driveline in it. Did you use any of Robbie's parts?
I had a lot of Robbie's parts on there, and man, just the harness he makes it so much easier. And I don't even know, it doesn't give you really an advantage. It's just it gives you that comfortability that nothing wiring wise is gonna.
Yeah, I mean, you get a little bit of advantage when you swap to a 98 to 02 P71 computer. You eliminate some things.
Yeah.
But the harness just makes it more simple. You don't got to fight with the dash. You don't got to fight with a ton of stuff. Yeah. And not just the harness. He makes fuel cells, battery trays, a couple different delete kits, some mass airflow stuff. I mean, he's really digging into the bone stock full size.
Customer service too, man. I had a problem with mine, and I was on the phone with him 10 minutes later, and we fixed it. I mean, he called me personally.
Yeah, and he's never been one. He'd give you the shirt off your back. He's going to try and make it right.
Yeah.
Great dude.
100%.
So now, them bone stock full-size cars, I ran a few of them, and I've always done well with Robbie's parts. How'd you end up doing in yours?
I got second to
Oh, yeah? Who beat
somebody
you?
else.
Who beat you?
Yeah, you got me on that one.
You didn't hit anything either.
Mark bag bad.
Bad.
You know,
Bad,
man,
bad.
I did bag a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. Just
The whole thing.
Yeah, but I put it to him
I was
at the
there. I
end.
seen it.
Yeah, rear-wheel drive, man. It's different in a compact. I'll give it. It's hard, but
Put it to
That's
him at
fun.
the end.
I did it again.
We fixed the car up, and he got to run it again.
Yeah.
Took it up Stoneborough.
I don't want to talk about it.
Got put up over the wall and lost some steering.
Got held for about 18 minutes.
Nothing of Robbie's failed whatsoever, though. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Any errors made in the bone stock car are normally the operator.
Yeah. It was not a good day for Mark.
Eddie, you didn't get in the big car.
It was a good day for me,
No.
Ed.
Why you say no to the big car?
I don't really care.
There's been a couple times that you started saving parts to run big cars, and then you just...
Hey, I want to interrupt this because you said it wasn't a good day for me.
Why?
I had a good day. I won the compacts before that.
Yeah, I
And
guess
then
so.
who got second to compacts?
that's
and,
right.
And who won that one?
Well, see, the real story is I didn't have a motor and tranny for my car, the corn car.
And I let you use
And
my motor and tranny.
Mark let me
yeah.
use his motor and tranny, so at the end of the day, I told him if it got down to both of us, I'd just shut off for him.
That's not what happened.
But it sounded good.
I'll pull that clip.
It did sound good.
I'll pull that clip up.
It did sound good.
But
That was a fun day. That was a good day.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a little bit damp.
Yeah, it was a little wet. Man, that was, oh, man.
Got to play with Soggy Bottom boys, and we all had Soggy Bottoms, so we were all loving it.
Soggy everything, bud. That was...
I got out the car at one point, and I wear boots that are like not the super high ones, but not like the real short ones either. They're like medium height. I got out, I put my foot down. And I mean, there was only the track stays good at Stoneborough is a crazy
The
thing.
track
Like
was
it
still
wasn't.
amazing.
The track was hard underneath it, but there was
Yep.
enough water that literally took my whole boot.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever derbied in so much rain.
you sure? I don't know. You
Dude,
rained
that
a
was-
lot at Fayette.
I like
that
the
was
night
2 years.
before though more. When we went on the way home from the Derby, and he's still here, you know.
We can't drink and drive. Man.
So
Can't.
we're hanging out at the
Don't do
Derby,
that.
and drinking and driving is awful. So
Yeah.
they've had a few throughout the course of action, and
It's a few.
by the end of the night, they look at each other and are like, "Well, who's driving to the hotel? Here comes Steven and Melanie. We got the truck packed full of stuff in the back seat. I mean, you can't fit anyone in there. I got my 2-car trailer. I got my car for the next night, and I got a minivan on there. So, well, hotel's about 10 minutes away. Looks like you guys are riding in the cars.
I ran a Sienna.
Yeah. What did you have there that day? I had the full size.
You had a full size.
No, I know.
You rode
Yeah,
you rode in the Avalon. You
Avalon.
ran in the Sienna because I had to swap them the next day.
Yeah, that's right.
How was the ride on the back of a 36-foot trailer
I'll tell
going
you
down the
this,
highway?
Man, that is
It's sketchy on the highway.
That's sketchy, man.
70 mile an
sketchy.
hour on a 2-car trailer is not fun at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't recommend doing it.
I didn't slow down or.
Nah.
The breeze is nice, but yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time. That's what it's all about.
So, episode 1, we covered everything we wanted to. The introduction, who we are. We didn't cover why we want to do this, but we truly also don't have a specific reason.
That's
No,
another
not really.
We're talking about Demolition Derby. We want to talk about the positives in the sport and bring some of the positives to light. But we also want to be realistic. So if there is some stuff going on that we don't like, we're going to call it how we see it.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Mark are going to talk about sports. I guess Eddie can talk about something like that some. And then we're going to talk a little bit about life too, some current events. I mean,
There's other motorsports out there, guys. Not just
Yeah.
derbies.
You're right.
I blasphemy. You guys are lying to me.
Stop.
Derby is life.
We got to hit the dirt track soon, though.
I do like going to a dirt track race every once in a while.
I had a good time. I got to experience my first sprint car race this year.
Yeah, we did get Mark
That's
out
fun.
to it.
We gotta get Mark. We gotta get Mark to Charlotte one time.
Yeah, he'd like that.
Charlotte's fun.
We can go to Florida in February. They run weeks down there.
I'm good.
What?
I mean, I'd go.
Florida in February?
Man,
Come
I
on.
guess we're going to
Volusia's
Florida.
nice.
Yeah.
We're going to Florida?
I don't know.
No,
Probably
Alright,
not.
you
I
just
gotta
said
go to
you
South
had-
Carolina in February.
Yeah.
I might go down there with you.
I'm already planning it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go.
Well, we might have to go. Come back,
Talk about it.
talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
get all revved up about it.
All right.
They ran a good show last year. It was good.
So, yeah, I didn't get to make it. I was under the weather, and
Didn't you have COVID?
no, I did not have COVID that time. I just had, I don't know if I had food poisoning. It was literally all stomach, and
Damn.
yeah, I've never had that before, but it was bad.
Nice venue, too.
That's what you guys told me, and I was jealous the whole time. I was sitting there with a Sienna that was built, which actually we had a ton of problems with right at the end. So
Maybe.
it was a blessing in disguise because the motor
Well,
ended up being bad.
Yeah, 8 hours to find that out would have sucked.
I mean, it still would have had enough to junk Daryl though.
You think?
Oh, 100%.
I do remember me and Daryl were there for a couple hours trying to fix that thing.
Yeah, because I mean that day of that show, I was welding my bumper, and forget who was in the garage, if it was Corey. I was welding my bumper, and out of nowhere, I just looked up at him, and I'm like, something's wrong. And I disappeared, and that was like 4 hours before we were supposed to leave for South Carolina. So, knowing me, I'm like, I'll be okay. Like, I normally try and tough stuff out like that. I'm like, I'm fine. Call my dad. Hey, can you see what's wrong with this van? I couldn't get to run right. I'll try and come up as soon as I can. Next thing you know, he's there, Mark's there, Daryl's there, Corey's there. They're like messing with it, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then it started really rapping. But
She gone.
yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't what I was hoping.
It's all right. We'll make it this year.
Yeah, we're going to South Carolina. I'm running MW Fake Glass with Jason Sauer and his minivan without a roof.
Well, okay. Minivan without a roof?
Minivan without a roof. You haven't seen it yet?
I did not see it yet.
Oh, that's right. You're not a big social media person. We skipped out on intros too. We were supposed
That's
to give
okay.
out. You gotta give out your shout outs for the social media. We'll do it on the
That's
outro.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap up episode 1 here. All revved up.
Yeah.
So Rev'd Up GarageCast episode 1. Steven Sickles. Make sure you follow on TikTok at Sickles911. Follow Facebook. We're gonna have a Facebook page up for this. This is gonna be on YouTube, Facebook. We're gonna be putting it on Apple, Spotify, and at least one more. I can't think of what it is right now, but that information will be on the Facebook page.
Yep.
Got Eddie to my right. Is there any socials you want them to follow you on?
Not
I
Snapchat.
got Facebook.
Not Snapchat.
Yeah.
I got Facebook. That's
Yesterday's
it.
episode, he said, well, my Snapchat is. And it's like, Eddie, no.
That's all I got. Facebook and Snapchat.
Okay. Cousin Eddie. we're done. Mark.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on TikTok at MarkMets6. I'm going to try to start making some content, and obviously this is going to be on there too. I'm going to start promoting this. And then obviously on Facebook, Mark Mets.
We're going to push this. We're going to get some skits of this on there.
Yeah.
There's a few videos of his forehead. They call him Conehead. So you might want to check them out.
Huge.
I have known in the derby world as Conehead.
Got all that head with no brain.
None of it.
I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Episode 1. Rev'd up, out.
Till next time.